Welcome back, my delinquents. Nijisanji is back again to haunt us. Why so soon? Weebcon vs Nijisanji vs FalseEyeD. I'm going to be talking about this as and say, allegedly, to be fair here. Nijisanji is back again to haunt us just a couple days after the previous video where I said it's the end of them. Well, as a prediction, and my prediction still stands on this. And I don't usually touch this that often, but I think it's important to touch upon this because this isn't just about Nijisanji, it also involves conventions, which I'm very interested in. So let's get into it. Here is a screenshot from the video from FalseEyeD, but there is a whole video about this on his channel that went up today, linking all this information, so I'll link to that too. But these are DMs from Weebcon. So the gist, before we go into more detail, Nijisanji contacted Weebcon last year in 2023 because of a photo FalseEyeD posted, which a cardboard cutout of his character a fan put on the Niji side of the con. And he was like, whoa, I'm in the wrong neighborhood, because his criticisms of Nijisanji was even prominent then. And that caused Nijisanji to reach out to Weebcon and tell them to take it down, the photo, or they will boycott Weebcon from all Japanese staff or VAs, and Nijisanji will not attend again, which is incredibly petty and unprofessional. Weebcon reaches out to False, can you take it down for us, homie, pretty much. And False does. But it's an obvious, abuse of power here, I think, and it's really unprofessional. You should not be threatening the conventions you go to do your bidding because your butt hurt over a very harmless tweet. Just take some criticism on the chin. You're a corporation. You could, burp and get criticism. You have to have thicker skin than this. It's getting pretty ridiculous here, but I would say getting ridiculous, but this is a year old, and it also explains, which I wasn't aware of when I covered Weebcon, that Nijisanji didn't attend compared to last year. I was just always, assumed a lot of Japanese companies didn't attend Western cons, but apparently they did the year before. And so, to this letter, it seems like Weebcon did keep their word that they weren't going to re-invite Nijisanji, and they were cutting times with them. So I'll go over this. Did keep their sources private. False tends to, because in some instances on the internet, you can accidentally open up people for harassment, so unless they specifically say, usually you do keep your sources kind of private. Hey False, I wanted to relay some dumb politics to you. Weebcon is asking if you could possibly remove the post about being in the wrong neighborhood with Nijicast. In the back. We don't care about any of that, but I guess they are threatening Weebcon hard with making sure they can't book Japanese VAs and stuff next year. If it's not taken down and stuff, it's up to you in the end, but they wanted to ask if that was possible and apologize for the annoying politics Niji is bringing to the event with this. Comment here, there's incredibly annoying politics, and this is some prima donna bullshit that really should not apply to a corporation. They need to mind their own business. They're the corpo, he's a news or YouTuber. Really, they could just, turn the other chick and, not care. It's pretty easy. They are working on cutting ties to Niji so they won't be involved in 2024. Again, so sorry for being the middleman to give you this request. And this is why you leave it alone, because when you make bad impressions on other businesses, because conventions are businesses, they cut ties and it just affects the talents negatively. And this is one of the reasons why their numbers just keep falling and falling. Because no matter how much people may like the talents, the management is so poor and so bitchy. Sorry, there's no other word. This is kind of bitchy. The reputation is just doing them in so bad. Weebcon said it's all up to you. It could be a possible empty threat that could hurt the convention a ton next year if it's not. Especially seeing it's not super common to get foreign VAs, at least in Australia. I don't know how much it is in America and stuff, but at least in Australia it's kind of hard to get foreign manga artists or VAs or talents, so it can really suck getting blacklisted. And he just said removed. He removed it. Things are done ton False. They will be happy. We all know how annoying Niji is, and that's why Weebcon is done with them after all this. So it looks like Nijisanji doesn't just have a poor reputation online, it seems like they have a poor business reputation, which isn't uncommon, as a lot of people say they're a black company, and a black company is a Japanese company that has been blacklisted for bad behavior or bad treatment of staff, and having a reputation between other corporations as being difficult is not uncommon for companies like this, and that's why Weebcon is done with them after all this. Also, I know you're going on vacation, so I hope you have a very enjoyable vacation. Just woke up and saw your message here. Thank you for reaching out. Hey, no troubles at all. We think it's bullshit that something as harmless as a little joke would cause. which is kind of BS. Honestly, the reason I wanted to talk about this, still not going to touch on every Niji thing I see, but it's just absolutely petty, and it's just what I've been outlining a lot of a problem. It's the same in the games industry, the art industry, VTubing in general. There's a lack of professionalism. I can understand some people were commenting on the previous video, I hate when they call them colleagues or professional. They're peers. But realistically, there is a lot of money involved. There's collaborations, there's contracts. Some people may be more peers, but realistically, it is very colleague-y, especially if it's your full-time job or it's your business. Yeah, it can be a hobby, but for a lot of people, it isn't. So you have to put a certain kind of face to it. Even actors go through this, where they may be your peers, but they are also your colleagues too. If you're just hobbying, maybe it's not. But for a lot of people where this is their business at this level, you have to have that professionalism. If you're like a medium, you don't automatically have to, but these are the top of the field in VTubing. You should expect a bit more decorum from them, a bit more professionalism, especially from corporations. Absolute lack of professionalism in general at the moment, I would say, with internet specific jobs is ridiculous, be it journalism, be it in gaming, or be it like these VTuber companies. There seems to be, no matter how high up, people are just acting absolutely ridiculous. It's crazy to me that people like this run a billion-dollar company. Someone pointed out, I thought it was just a multi-million-dollar company, but apparently it's a billion-dollar company. And I was like, what? There's $1 billion in VTubing? Come on, hold my beer. I'm gonna start a corporation. I'll call it the Drunken Australian Oshis. But, jokes aside, it is absolutely ridiculous that there's $1 billion in this company and they act like they're spoiled teenagers. And some people like to meme that a lot of VTuber companies are just like fan startups by some billionaire kid. I would not be surprised if a lot of these are run by some rich kid that just picked it up as a pet project, sadly. Not to stereotype, but I find it so hard to believe that someone rose to the rank of running businesses. I should probably look up who the hell the CEO properly of this is. I've seen a few pictures and he looks pretty young. How in the world is he a CEO of this company? And it just screams, I don't know what I'm doing. And it's the same with a lot of the corporations that are startup, especially with the small ones. At least you can justify this is their first try. They're trying to make their dreams come true. They're gonna have some hiccups. But Nijisanji has been, and Any Color have been around so long. How are they still having these professionalism issues? It just feels like they don't want to learn. They just want special treatment. Like a spoiled brat. They are becoming the spoiled brat of the industry. And I feel horrible for these talents. And also, this should not be happening. No matter your disagreements with people online, especially people just reporting information sometimes, you gotta keep it respectful. Keep it respectful between peers, especially when you're the bigger fish. And Nijisanji, Any Color, is the bigger fish. They seem very chronically online with this action. I'm just gonna leave it like that and you can link to the video or whatever you want. But I find this very interesting to just a more insight into the real problems of Nijisanji is the petty atmosphere they seem to have going on in the entitlement. The management sounds so sour. Like just everything that comes out about these guys, it like just gives you the ick. That was just my little rant about it. Don't take everything I'm saying here super serial, for the love of God. I'm just like having a rant about how much this is frustrating and how shitty that was. Like, God, that was shitty. F's in the chat. That's all I got for you. It's interesting information. Go watch False's new video. And I will see you next time, my delinquents. You've got this, bestie. Let's hope Nijisanji can keep it in their pants for tomorrow, huh?